All right, what we're about to talk about for a little bit is just a simple discussion on making beer. I'm not going to go through in intricate detail every step-by-step method. Basically, you get your water started. You're going to raise your water to about 155 degrees and put your specialty grains into it. Once you're going to put those in for about a half hour, whatever your recipe calls for, essentially. Uh, you want to raise your water normally to about 155 degrees. Don't take it over 175 degrees because that can make your beer have off taste and flavors and bitterness and that kind of stuff that was unintended. Uh, while this is happening, you want to get the rest of your ingredients to make your wort together and get them prepared. That right there, what I'm doing is I'm just warming up liquid malt so that it's kind of like molasses, and it makes it easier. The other thing you do is you kind of sanitize things that you're going to need later, like your carboy or whatever. Anything you're going to need later. That's kind of my moment when I'm getting that all cleaned and sanitized, and it gives me something to do in the half hour while I'm waiting for my specialty grains to go ahead and steep. There's a little comedy coming. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Ouch. There you go. And what I'm doing here, so I've held it in there between 155 and 100. Really, about try to keep it in the 160s is where I try to do it. Keep the temperature range during the steeping of the grains. But what I'm doing now is I'm going to take everything off for a little bit. Then I'm going to add everything that's going to make my wort, and then reset my timers for about an hour. Now, all of these steps, in some beers you really don't have that many specialty grains. I have made beers with none. They just give it the flavor or the character that we're used to in our different unique beers. Got to take it off the heat because the malt, like I said, is kind of like molasses consistency. If I'd have poured that into that pot while it's sitting on the burner, it would have went straight to the bottom, and that searing hot bottom with that molasses would cause it to stick, and ultimately it would cause it to singe on the bottom, and it would basically taste like burnt beer. Kind of like that smoked beer they make in Bavaria and Bamberg, Germany. No, it wouldn't taste that good. It would taste terrible. That's what I'm doing right there. Is I'm gonna put that in there. All right. During all of these times when you're boiling your malt into wort, basically what I do is I just get organized for the next step. Keep sterilizing, sanitizing. I use the word sterilize. I know that most of what I do is not sterilization, it's sanitization. Sterilizing something is sanitizing makes it 98% free of any kind of contaminants. Sterilizing makes it absolutely free of any bacteria. To sterilize something, you generally have to put it in a pressurized steam chamber and hold it there for I think it's 20 minutes at 20 bar. What it's measured in. I forget what the temperature range is. Basically, that's the steam pressure you don't get. I'm going to try that actually with this. I'm going to try to sterilize my bottles. I've got several huge old pressure cookers, and I'm just going to play with it and see if I can, when it comes phase of this particular brew to be bottled, I'm going to see if I can put them in sterilized bottles. I've never done it before. They've always been just sanitized, and it works fine. But it might be less work, actually, because I can just drop them in there after I've cleaned them and run them for 20 minutes. Running 2 of them, that really should actually be quicker than me hand sanitizing them all. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Here I'm just adding my stuff before I do my before I continue my cook, boil, whatever you want to call it, of my wort, which will last an entire hour. Past that, you'll see me begin to get my carboy ready, and I'll set it up. The funnel I'm using is sanitized. It's kind of a specialty brewing funnel where it's got a little screen in the bottom of it, and that screen catches all the various stuff that's still in these ingredients and tries to screen it out before it goes into your beer. You'll see me have some difficulty with that because the hops that I add in here is kind of stops up the screen there because it swells up. Excuse me. So this portion of the video I know is just fascinating, and I'm being a very fascinating speaker too. Not really. It's like let's see what time it is where I'm at. It's 12:40. I should be in bed. That's like midnight 40 is what I mean. 0040. I'm very proud of these hops, obviously, because I'm showing it to you for 10 minutes. But actually, a goal of mine is I'd really love to make my own hops. That'd be cool, huh? Grow my own hops. I saw some growing today, actually, in a microbrew, whatever, small brewing company. Wasn't impressed with this brewing company. I won't tell you the name because I wish them well. I hope they do well. But they're like a lot of microbrews. They got into this IPA thing and that kind of stuff, and they just make bitter beer or bad beers. They're just not freaking good. I think people drink them because they're gimmicky or it's a fad. You know, some of them, because, you know, I taste them and people are like, oh, this is the greatest beer ever, and then I taste it and it's garbage. I am a beer snob, so I know what I am. I don't drink beer to get drunk. I drink beer because I like the taste of beer, so I'm not going to drink bad beer if I can avoid it. It's me messing around with this carboy, putting some strapping around it so I can pick it up without, you know, just having to manhandle it by the neck. And that's I advise anybody that's handling these things, especially once they're full, to get a strap set. You know, the other thing that works is they have these handles that go around the neck. They're kind of metal things with rubber all over them. My experience is the rubber kind of wears out fairly soon, and then you're metal on glass, and the straps seem to be better. It's personal preference, though. I think they both work. Yeah, basically trying to pour this stuff. It's already cooked for an hour. I'm pouring it through. I'm going to have a little trouble with it. That's the moral story. The next steps, which you won't see in this video, I'm going to just kind of close it out with the brew because it's got to sit there and ferment for a week or more until it quits bubbling for about 2-3 days through the airlock. I believe I finished this up with showing you the airlock installed and everything. But at the end of the day, it'll start bubbling in about 24 to 48 hours. If it doesn't start bubbling in about 2 days, you may have messed something up, killed your yeast, or you may have received dead yeast from the get-up. You want to be careful with your yeast. Follow all directions or recipes because and read the yeast package, because certain yeast they die. They literally die if you put them into the wort when it's still too hot. And then they don't make anything, so you don't want to do that. And that's normally the case when you don't have bubbles out of your airlock in about 2.5 days. I've had bubbles out of my airlock in an hour before doing this, brewing beer, so it's good stuff. But in closing, hopefully I'll get around to doing another video when I bottle all these beers, and have a good one.